This is the inside of the camera's power supply. So you can see it's all very simple. You get power switch and LED on the front, big transformer, some electronics, filter capacitor right there, video inputs and outputs, and the camera hookup jack and mains input on the back. And mounted in the cover, which is well, used as a heatsink, is this transformer for the voltage stabilization. And that's all. Here we have the camera partially taken apart. There sits the actual camera. That's how I found it at a flea market, sitting there. Here is the handle, just screws onto the tripod mount of the camera. This is the lens. It has a C-mount thing right there. And you can hold it up to the camera. There you can see. Let's see. Looks like it's yeah, that's right. It's reproducing the pictures upside down, as it seems. Yep, it does. However, let's try to close the shutter, the iris. That's close, and that's open. And that's the zoom. It's all very, very simple. Made by Canon in Japan. They call it the TV zoom lens. All very simple, but still working. So now I want to continue with this camera, and I now want to take off the viewfinder. And the viewfinder was an optional accessory. Since this is the deluxe version, it already comes with a viewfinder, but the plain version came with an optical viewfinder, which was basically a piece of glass sitting on top of the camera where you could look through. It also didn't came with a zoom lens. Didn't have any zoom. This lens, by the way, doesn't have any macro. Has no macro. However, to take off the viewfinder, you just undo the screw right there. And then you just pull the viewfinder forward towards you, and then it just comes off. Has a mounting thing right there, and then there is a plug right there where it connects to the camera. And that's the camera without the viewfinder. And usually on the standard version you would have had the piece of glass optical viewfinder sitting right there. Here we have the viewfinder. It's a huge thing, really. And there you have it, model GM1E. Has for the playback of your recorded picture, you know, if you have it hooked up to a VCR and you play back the VCR through the camera, you also get a speaker right there for sound. This is basically the input selector for either the camera, or if you pull it out, the VCR playback, and then this acts as a volume control for the built-in speaker, which has a power output of 0.1 watt. And you can flip this open, and down there you can see the little picture tube of the viewfinder. And here we have the inside of the viewfinder. You see the little picture tube inside of there, and the electronics with a tiny little speaker right there. And this is some sort of a voltage converter to to produce the high voltage for the picture tube. That is still working, but I'm not getting any picture out of this. However, all the parts are looking good. Doesn't seem to have any bad capacitors inside of here. Now, let's take a look inside the camera itself. And here we have the camera taken out of the housing. Now, I'm not going to take this apart any further. I don't think that would be a good idea. As you can see, you can't see too much. So there is a circuit board on the top, circuit board on the side, which is shielded, and another circuit board on the side, which is also shielded. So the only place where you can really look inside is right there. You can't see too much in there as well. Here is the front. This is the microphone. And this is the picture tube, which for some reason is glowing, kind of orange. Comes out red on the camera, but it's a really, really weird glow inside of there. It's very spooky. So, I now want to try to hook this up once again. Maybe something has changed. Well, bad news, I guess. I have the camera hooked up to the television, or the video monitor, that is, because I thought the viewfinder was just not working. But unfortunately, it seems like something is messed up in the camera. It's not really like the electronics. Those seem to work. As if I, for example, turn the contrast regulator, you can see the picture getting darker and brighter on the television, just as it's supposed to. The white balance regulator doesn't make any difference. However, it doesn't seem like anything is happening. I first had the lens taken off and, well, just got a black picture. But if I would hold my hand in front of the tube, it would get a little bit different. So I thought, well, maybe it's because of the missing lens. I mean, well, without the lens you'll get a blurry picture, that's all. So put the lens on, but well, as you can see, it doesn't do anything. You know. The sound, however, the sound is working, as you can hear. Sound is working. The electronics, they do seem to work. You can see that's the light for exposure, and it's flickering because, well, of course the camera thinks it's just a case of underexposure. Well, however, I think it's a case of a bad tube, unfortunately. So, I think that's the end of this video. And if you have any ideas what I could possibly repair in this thing, I'd be happy if you could tell me. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and see you again soon.